Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
I push that weight to get that dough, but I don't break cause I've been broke. If ain't no pain, then ain't no growth. To keep it 100, I came in to run it and bet if I had to, I'd do it again. It ain't no race if I don't win. I push that weight to get that dough, but I don't break cause I've been broke. If ain't no pain, then ain't no growth. To keep it 100, I came in to run it and bet if I had to, I'd do it again. It ain't no race if I don't win. Trust I'm coming up for that top spot, coming up for that throne. Trust I'm coming up for that drop top, cool sitting on.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Grind. I am your host, Korrey, and we are here to talk about all things WWE. You can catch The Grind on many different social media platforms, but if you want to see full episodes, it's going to be available right here on Sertoba Media, SIRTOBA Media, every single Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern. The only way I'm not here is if something is going on in life. 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on Sertoba Media, every single Saturday. But you can catch The Grind on many other social media platforms as well. Those platforms will be available for you all to see at the end of today's episode. Now, let's get into what we got for today. Episode 30 of The Grind. This is 30th episode of The Grind. I am so proud of the growth of, if you look at all the way episode 1, it was about 6 months ago, so more than 6 months ago, into where we are now. And a lot has changed about The Grind since its inception. I'm very proud of the hard work that has went into this, and for everyone that has shown support, came on to the show, shared their thoughts and their opinions and whatnot. I am humbly grateful for you. I would love to continue to expand, continue to grow, continue to get better at this content game and bring you all more of what you want to see. I do have some things in the works that I'm working on in the background. That announcement will be coming at a later date, so hang tight to that. But today I was thinking, like, what do I want to be the 30th episode, and normally, like, I'm just so formatted. I'm so, I have my ideas about this. I have my ideas about that. And normally I come into it with really a clear idea of what I want to discuss. But this week, I decided to give my brain a break a little bit. For those that do not know, I am in school as well. And I work a position that requires me to do a lot of mental lifting. So here today, we're just going to have a chat. We're going to talk about some things that happened this week, and I'm going to give you some insight on a concept that is coming up very, very soon that I am working on. And I'm going to give you a little tidbit, little snippet of it today. So let's get into what took place this week on Raw and SmackDown. It will be in no particular order, by the way. So, don't think that I'm about to sit here and be like, oh, this is what happened on Raw. No, we're just going to talk about a few things. Before we get into anything, I want to say rest in peace to the ECW legend himself. This ain't me putting the one up. I don't know. Can I get it right? Sabu. Sabu is an ECW legend. Well, he's like known more to being on ECW, has had legendary matches, especially with Sandman and a few others, on the ECW brand, but it was really, really hot back in the day. He had a great match with John Cena at one point. Sabu is a legend in this game who has helped change the outlook of extreme wrestling through his high flying. And he will be missed. Sabu, rest in peace, man. Thank you for the memories. And hopefully you are at rest. And that afterlife is treating you well, man. So rest in peace to the legend Sabu. All right, so Money in the Bank qualifying matches has started, and it started on SmackDown with Alexa Bliss going against Michin and Chelsea Green. Alexa Bliss, it did pull out the win for this match, and it's kind of weird to me. She came back Royal Rumble, came back for a couple matches, disappeared again. Now she's back again. And I hope she's back, like fully back now. Like, let's stop, giving us something and then taking it away, giving us something and then taking it away. Hopefully she's fully back now. And we're going to see what kind of storyline she's going to get involved with. Allegedly, she's going to be doing something with Charlotte. And she wants to have a conversation with Charlotte based off last week's episode into this week's episode. She kind of, said she was looking for a friend. And it's a little weird that she's looking at Charlotte because the last time they faced each other, she tore up Lily into 1,000 pieces and, Alexa was distraught. So for her to be looking at Charlotte, it's a little weird. But I don't know. Maybe she's playing mind games. Who knows? But does this lead to the interaction with the Wyatt Six? Hopefully. Hopefully they're on the mend. Allegedly, multiple members of the team had, or the group had injuries. So hopefully soon we can get the Wyatt Six back on TV so we can get this real storyline going between them and Alexa Bliss, because eventually that's what it's going to be. And, we'll see what the dynamic is from there. Hopefully, again, this keeps Alexa on TV moving forward. Okay. She needs to be on TV. The reaction she got when she pinned Chelsea, like, come on, man. The fans are behind her. It was a beautiful, beautiful sign behind her after she won the match. I believe it said Fireflies are forever or fly forever. I think it's fly forever. And it was just amazing to see. So Bliss, first one to qualify for the Money in the Bank on the women's side. On the men's side, Solo Sikoa is the first one to qualify for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. That match wasn't really something that I was just head over heels about, so I don't really care to talk about it. The thing that really does intrigue me, though, is the dynamic between him and Jacob. Clearly, there's jealousy being shown from Solo to Jacob. And Jacob, he's not stupid. He all gas, no brakes with it. So, he knows what's going on. And I mean, he did something that Solo could not do. Jacob kept his word and brought a title back to the family. Him and Jey Uso brought titles back into the family. Solo failed every single time he attempted to bring a title back into the family. Is this a way for them to get Solo to win the Money in the Bank and turn on Jacob or turn on Jey? Who knows? But the tension is mounting from them two. Solo kept picking at Jacob, and I mean, at some point, Jacob's patience is going to run out with Solo. To me, I think this is about to lead to a match at SummerSlam between the two, and hopefully this continues to elevate Jacob. Even though I do feel like Solo's kind of been put on the back burner a little bit. And we'll see what happens from here. I mean, it's a intriguing storyline, but it's not one that just completely captivates you yet. So we'll see where it goes. Speaking of Alexa and Charlotte having a conversation, Nick Aldis comes out of the office with the newest acquisition to SmackDown, the beautiful madness, Julia. Julia is excellent in the ring. I know she's been working on her English so that way she can kind of ingratiate herself with these fans, with the American side of fans. But I think Americans need to do a better job of looking at wrestling promotions outside of the United States. I think we've evolved a little bit and we've gotten better. I mean, just look online with all the wrestling podcasts and things like that. People have always been tuned into those things, but I think more fans, the more they ingratiate themselves into other styles of wrestling, I think they start to understand where that person came from. For instance, Will Ospreay captivated me like this, and I saw him over on the British scene, and then I saw him over in New Japan. So when he came over to America, I was like, yo, this is dope. If I get AEW in my area, I'm going to go see Will Ospreay, because Will Ospreay is sick. I ain't gonna lie to you. Will Ospreay is worth going to see. He is sick. Now the rest of it, could care. But his matches with Kenny and stuff, Okada, Will Ospreay is crazy. But back to this side of things, Julia, I think is going to bring a fresh face to that SmackDown women's roster, who didn't really have a great showing WrestleMania wise. In my opinion, it was Charlotte and Tiffany, and it was kind of meh. So hopefully Julia can bring an added energy to that women's division. Jumping over to the Raw side of things, Jey Uso comes out, drops a promo on Logan Paul after last week's show went off. Last week's Monday Night Raw went off. Logan Paul snuck Jey Uso in the midst of all the brawling that was going on. So Jey Uso was out cutting a promo onto Logan Paul, which I think it was going to be a decent match at Saturday night's main event next weekend. I do think Jay will retain, and him and Gunta will be going one-on-one against each other. I believe the next the PLE is Money in the Bank. Don't give me the line, y'all. Don't give me the line. But I think the next PLE is Money in the Bank. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I do believe that Jay, regardless, will retain the title. But whoever wins the Money in the Bank contract is going to tell me a lot about which way this is going to go. They're not going to take the title off Cena. You can forget it. Not going to happen. It's going to happen to Jay if somebody wins and cashes in. So hold on tight, y'all. We're going to get Gunther versus Jay again, looking like here very, very soon. Also, a pretty decent women's tag team match with Io Sky teaming with Rhea Ripley against Julia and Roxanne. After the match, after they lost, Roxanne is like, we, and that's when Julia's like, nah, fam, you on your own. We out this money. And Julia went on over to SmackDown. So that gives you full indication that Roxanne will be on the Raw brand. And I think they did nothing with them two, but added value to the two women's divisions. They're no longer needed on NXT. And I think the NXT women's division is deep. So Stephanie Vicaire can carry that for a little bit until she's called up. The two like women between Roxanne and Julia is going to add some value, some young, liveliness, a breath of fresh air into those women's divisions on their respective brands. But of course, after the match, Io Sky holds up their women's world championship, and Rhea Ripley's looking like, you got something I want. You got something I want, shouty. So I'm assuming that they're going to run it back pretty soon because Rhea Ripley has not defeated Io Sky in her entire career in WWE. So eventually, it's going to be a bigger stage where Rhea is going to win the title back. It is what it is. Am I tired of it? Yes. But we do got some new blood coming in. So hopefully, like after Money in the Bank, they consider, doing a draft and having it go into effect maybe after SummerSlam or something. So Sky, Ripley, far from done. Speaking of far from done, I mean, technically it is done now. The main event of Friday Night SmackDown was freaking amazing between Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. And it was probably, like, we say this like almost every other match, but it's probably Nia's best match. I don't know what Nia did when she was unfortunately released and then brought back, but this girl, it has been amazing since she returned. And she was already like, for lack of better terms, larger than life when she was on the brand the first time. Like, she separated herself from the rest and was able to do some things. But this go around, this young lady, man, has been freaking amazing, putting other people over as champion, winning the Queen of the Ring, like her character work. I mean, Nia is like just amazing, dude. And I think she deserves her flowers. She made Tiffany Stratton like $1 million last night. And I mean, even Tiffany Stratton, don't get me wrong, Tiffany Stratton carried a lot of moments in that match as well. But ultimately, Tiffany Stratton was able to turn Nia's tactics with trying to, distract the referee and use a steel chair, got drop kicked in the face of steel chair, which legit busted her open. I hope she's okay. And hit the prettiest moonsault ever to retain her WWE Women's Championship. But that's not the only thing that happened during that match, because Naomi was stalking both of them before they entered this match. And then Naomi comes out with the chair, and Naomi's like, I'm about to ruin this main event scene. But Jade, of course, meets her after Naomi screwed Jade out of this title match last week. So they're going to continue. Now, here is where I'm having an issue with Jade and Naomi. Jade and Naomi needs to elevate their feud. If we're going to keep this feud going for a longer period of time, then they really need to look at CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. This is literally how it needs to go. You have the blueprint sitting right there. This rivalry should be even more personal because they were so close. The big three performed at WrestleMania together, won at WrestleMania together. And to have somebody that you trust stab you in the back, not somebody that you always been at odds with or you never really spent any time with, somebody that you fully trust stab you in the back the way Naomi did Jade. Get your get back at Royal Rumble, and you're constantly just playing this tit for tat game of screwing each other each week, for lack of a better term, out of wins. Let me put it that way. and nothing is really coming from it. I need this to be more of a feud, not just pomp and circumstance or just random things happening. This needs to be a feud. A feud like needs to have more significant implications than what it is right now. Right now, it feels like they're playing tag. I need this to get personal. Parking lot brawl. You know, every time I see you, it's on site. And I don't mean just outside by the rain. No, you pull up in your car, ding, hit your ass right there. Like, they really need to figure this thing out with Jade and Naomi, because they have something there that I think can benefit both of those women, especially Jade. Still being relatively young in her wrestling career and dealing with a vet like Naomi with 10 plus years of experience that can help carry this feud and help elevate Jade while she has moments of elevation herself. So WWE, please just go back and look what you did with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Just go back and look at it. Please. This feud not only needs to replicate it, but it needs to elevate that feud between CM Punk and McIntyre. Please help us out with this feud. It needs to be elevated. There's no reason why we shouldn't even, I mean, hell, I'm even to the point where I'm ready to see a women's Hell in a Cell match to finish it. SummerSlam, them two. Duh. And I mean, you know, everything else, y'all, to be honest with you, it's kind of bland, so we're not going to really spend a whole lot of time on it. But I do want to take a few moments to talk about what I have coming up. So I want to shout out my coworker, my friend, Mr. Eric, for giving me this idea a few months ago. And I have been slowly working on it in the background. And honestly, I'm kind of conflicted on how I want to introduce it and how I want to go about doing it. So here's what I'm going to do for now. I'm going to introduce the concept to you all, and I want y'all to share some ideas with me on how you think I should present it. So I'm not the biggest wrestling head as far as like the histonomics of it. I have to go back and look at things because like a lot of times I remember some things, but I don't remember everything. And, you know, it's cool. I'm not a walking almanac, dictionary, whatever it is, historian, whatever it is. I have to go back to really like put myself back into those moments again. But Eric gave me the idea of, if you're somebody that's new to wrestling, what would you recommend for them to start at? And it has been hard for me to make that kind of decision because there's so many different aspects to wrestling that you could start at. For me, wrestling really like turned the world all around, and it really captivated me when the Attitude Era started. When the Attitude Era started, WCW versus Monday Night Raw, the Monday Night Raw Wars, and they was over here at the Norfolk Scope, I believe, when they did the whole tank. DX did the tank going towards WCW. Like, it was so like chaotic back then, but so captivating and entertaining to watch both shows. But so what I'm going to do here in a moment, I am going to share with you one of the matches that I feel like you really need to look at as a newer wrestling fan to start to understand what wrestling is all about. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to compile a series together at some point, is what my idea is currently, unless you guys can help me out and give me a better idea. But I'm going to compile a series where I talk about matches that people should start at or people should look at to help them get into the realm of wrestling, to help them understand wrestling. You know, for lack of a better term, wrestling for dummies. No, I'm kidding. But it's one of those things where like I really want to make sure that this is something that is palpable, something that is impactful, something that has reasoning behind it instead of just doing something. So that is why it's been taking me so long to really get this together. But you know, just give y'all a heads up, I'm not going to be here pretty soon. I'm taking my family on vacation. So you know, you'll have some episodes. I won't miss anything. You'll still see me. But I possibly could be debuting an episode here in the next couple of weeks. Depends. But that is the concept. I want to talk about matches that really captivated me, that really gravitated me. It might be matches, it might be periods, it might be people, whatever it may be. I'm gonna try to keep it towards matches though, so that way you can go back and look at it. But matches that I feel people who are new to wrestling should go and look at to get them ingratiated into the wrestling world. And the first match that I'm going to introduce to you right now, preview right now, is WrestleMania 25. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. That match is in one of my probably top 3 matches of all time. When I tell you the history is behind it there, another one of their matches that they had is on my list, on this list that I'm going to roll out here soon as well. So I don't want to spoil that. But Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, 20 plus year history together, chemistry everywhere. And at their advanced ages at the time, when Undertaker was really in the midst of his streak, he had not lost yet. Man, when I tell you that match was a story from top to bottom, Shawn Michaels descending like he's just from the heavens and got on all white and like he's an angel, but really, he the Heartbreak Kid. You got the Undertaker rising up, from the depths of hell, going down with his druids and whatnot. Like, I mean, just the drama, the cinematics, the how we got to that point, the many times Shawn Michaels snuck up on Undertaker, either he was on the ramp or coming through the crowd, whatever, super kicking him, and leaving the Undertaker laid out, and then the Undertaker playing mind games with Shawn Michaels. Like, the story behind this is what you really need to get into. But that match was a beauty. There was a point in the match where the Undertaker really could have hurt himself when he did a tope suicide. Well, it wasn't a suicide dive. He jumped over the top ropes, trying to do a dive through the top ropes. You talking about a man that's basically 7 foot, 320 something pounds, jumping off his own feet over the top ropes onto Shawn Michaels, and he jumped into the cameraman, and the way he landed, like his neck was like at an angle. And my God, that was a visual, but he kept going. Luckily, he was not hurt. The match was so freaking beautiful. I mean, back and forth. It wasn't a squash. Both men showed why they're a part of the greatest of all time when it comes to wrestling. Character-wise and in-ring work, their chemistry was just undeniable, and it captivated the fans. It captivated the fans so much. I know I was at home watching on the TV screen and just like was glued. I did not move during this match. So the first match I want to introduce to you all, if you are new to wrestling, WrestleMania 25. Get on Peacock. I believe, they just shut down the WWE network. They're going to have different ways of you all seeing this very soon. I think the library is on Netflix if you're on international. I'm not sure. But get on Peacock, go to WrestleMania 25, fast forward that money to watch Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. I promise you, you will not want to miss a second of it. It was a full-on 20, 25 minute, 30-minute treat. I promise you. And if you want to see the dynamics of quote-unquote good versus evil, or a rivalry really playing out, I would say start with that match. All right, and that's all I have for you guys today. I appreciate you joining me this afternoon. I hope your Saturday is beautiful. It's going to be a hot day outside, so please make sure you stay hydrated. And a couple of things before we get out of here. Number one, follow Sartoba Media on all social media platforms. SIRTOBA Media on all social media platforms. You can follow The Grind on many different types of social media platforms. You'll see that here in just one moment. And remember, stay true to what you do, stay true to why you do, and always stay true to you. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I'll see you next week. Have a great Saturday.
I push that weight to get that gold, but I don't break 'cause I'm in gold.